Welcome back to my channel. Today on Simple Cravings, we'll be making some easy air fryer garlic parmesan wings. So let's get started. Here I have some chicken wings, which I've already pre-washed. And the day before, I put some salt, some pepper, and I put them in the refrigerator to marinate overnight. I did that so that the inside of the chicken wouldn't be bland tasting when you bite into it. So it's good to season it the night before if you can. So what I'm gonna do here is cut them into little drumettes and cut the wing tips off and get them ready for the other seasonings that I have. Here are some seasonings that I'm using in this recipe. I'm using some chicken bouillon powder, which if you don't have any, you could use any type of all-purpose seasoning, or you could just use a little bit more salt. I have some garlic powder and a little bit of paprika just for color. So once we get everything seasoned up in this bowl, I'm gonna use a little bit of olive oil to help spread the seasonings around the chicken, and it will sit to the side and marinate for about an hour. Now all of these seasonings could have been added in the night before, but these wings were left over from a previous video that I had done. So that's why I didn't do that this time. But normally I'd put all of my seasonings that I'm gonna use in that bowl the night before. So you wanna get everything stirred up. Make sure that seasoning is coating every chicken wing, and then let it sit to the side for at least an hour. So after your chicken has marinated for at least an hour, you want to transfer your chicken over into the air fryer. Now when you put these pieces into the air fryer, you want to make sure you have one layer of chicken. And the reason why you want just one layer is so that your chicken will be crispy. If you have chicken laying on top of the bottom pieces, then it would be hard for your chicken to get crispy on all sides. So you may have to do more than one batch, but it's the best way to do it. So here we have the ingredients for our butter sauce. We have some butter, some Parmesan cheese, some salt and pepper, few cloves of garlic, and some parsley just for presentation. If you don't have the parsley and you're making this chicken for yourself, you don't have to worry about having this in your ingredient list. Next, we're gonna chop our garlic. I'm using some fresh garlic, but if you have minced garlic or even some garlic paste, those will work just the same. I had fresh garlic on hand, so that's what I'm using today. Okay, now we're gonna start our butter sauce. You're gonna use some unsalted butter, and I've used 3/4 of a stick, which I later found out that you really only need a half a stick for the amount of wings that I had. I only had 12 wings. So it depends on how many wings you have, and that will determine how much butter sauce you'll need to make. But for this recipe, I really only need about a half a stick of butter. Now in this recipe, since I'm using unsalted butter, I do add a sprinkle of salt in this butter sauce. But if you are using salted butter, just omit the salt because you will not need it. Now that we've added our garlic to the butter, we're gonna let that simmer on a low heat for about 5 to 7 minutes. Here I'm adding a little bit of salt and pepper. Make sure you go easy with the salt because the Parmesan cheese already carries a lot of salt. And you don't want to put in all this hard work and realize you got to start all over again. Now while you're cooking this butter sauce, you need to stir it frequently because the butter will burn very quickly on you, and you definitely don't want that. So you let this cook for only 5 to 7 minutes. This is what it'll look like after 5 to 7 minutes, and it is ready to take off of the heat. Now let's go check on our wings. They've been in the air fryer for about 5 minutes, and they're already starting to brown a little bit. At this point, I like to flip them over. That way, both sides of your wings will be nice and crispy. After flipping them over, you're going to return them back to the air fryer for another 7 minutes. And here's what they should look like. Nice and golden brown and very crispy on both sides. So now that the wings are done, I've taken them out of the air fryer and put them into a bowl. In this bowl, I'm gonna pour the butter sauce on top of them. But before I do that, I like to put a little bit of lemon juice into the butter sauce. It adds acidity to the sauce, and it adds a lot of flavor when you put this on your wings. So after you add that lemon juice, you just want to give it a stir and then pour this sauce over the top of all of your chicken wings. Next, you want to add your Parmesan cheese. You can add as much or as little Parmesan cheese as you choose. I think I might have added a total of a quarter of a cup to mine. The first time I added it, it melted right into the butter. So I added another layer and stirred it around, and it was just right. Okay, here I'm just plating them up. I'm just pouring the rest of the butter sauce out of the bowl on top of the wings. I'm going to use a little bit of parsley just for presentation. I just want to say that this was a quick, easy recipe, and anybody can make this. I also want to say thank you for taking the time out to watch my video, and I'll see you on the next one.